Shalom, Yashala, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh. I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Yasharallah. Kol Holoyim La Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Harakak Wadash, for blessing our elders with the spirit of truth so that we may know. Shout out to the Akim and the Aquath that's keeping the faith in the work. Y'all keep at it. It's your brother Abaya coming at you with more precepts. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 10 and verse 2. It says, "The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined." All right. At the end of the day, all of the plotting and scheming that these devils are doing against the Most High's people is ultimately for their demise. Right? The Most High just giving them all the rope that they need to hang themselves. Right? Because there's a certain amount of wickedness that has to be let loose on the earth, and they are the individuals to do it. All right, so this is an article in Zero Hedge, and the title of it is called "Why Inflation is Not Some Random Occurrence." All right, I bring this, well, all of the brethren bring out basically the motto of the wealthy. You know what I mean? The 1%. The wicked bankers, the elite that really run this world. They have a motto, and that motto is called "Ordo ab chaos," which basically means order out of chaos. So create a chaotic event and present order with whatever it is that you're trying to introduce into the world that normally the world would buck against. But since you've created a state of chaos, it eases whatever it is they try to introduce into this world, right? And inflation is no different, right? So it says, no one can ignore the scourge of mass inflation that's sweeping across the globe these days. From the U.S. to Turkey, inflation has become the new normal in many countries. All right. It says $188 million lottery winner sued by pastor losers. Oh, hell no. It says prices are rising and people's purchasing power is plummeting at breakneck speeds. Right? So the economy is crashing. Not just in the daughter of Babylon, but all around the world. Right? It says that said, the majority of people tend to not grasp what inflation actually is. They only focus on the prices and not the underlying cause, namely the expansion of the money supply. Right? The expansion of the money supply. So pump out more dollars. Whether those dollars are euro or actual US dollars or whatever. Pump out more dollars, which means they are worth less because you have so much of it out. Right? It says, let me see. It says they only focus on the prices and not the underlying cause, namely the expansion of the money supply. Inflation is the type of policy that a bloated warfare welfare state like the U.S. would pursue. Many other countries have pursued similar inflationary policies with the same disastrous results. Right? So like I said, if you pump out more funds, that means it makes it worth less. So look at it like a classic car, right? And this classic car, only 10 was made. So that means the value of that car is extremely high because it's only 10. Say 2 of those cars got destroyed somehow. They caught on fire, whatever the hell. So now you only got 8, right? And there's only a certain amount of countries in the world. So that means those cars are extremely valuable, right? But on the flip side, you got a new car that gets made, 100,000 every week. That car is not going to be as precious as the 8 because there's so many of the cars. Even if this car is it can be a Bentley or whatever the hell, soon as it leaves the lot, depreciates, especially by being so many of them. So the same thing with money, man. Right? Especially if it's backed off of nothing. Right? The dollar is backed off of debt. These are this facts. But anyway, it says the abandonment of the gold standard, right? And the proliferation of central banks worldwide that accompanied it led to the greatest government expansion in human history over the last century. Right? Basically, what I just said. Right? It says the amusing part about all of this is how people treat inflation like a random calamity. Right? So he's saying people treat inflation like it just popped out the blue, like it just happened. And basically, what he's about to say is it's not a random act. Inflation comes off of policies, right? Inflation comes off of paperwork written by higher ups, right? It says the truth is that it's 100% the product of public policy, i.e., or for example, expansionary monetary policies, right? Politicians enjoy easy money. It's how they finance their handouts and quixotic projects. Says as long as central banks are still in business, the temptation for politicians to debase the currency remains strong. Right? You really don't. No one really can answer how much politicians get paid, like off the top of the dome. You may be able to look that information up. I'm not sure. I never have, but they make sure they get paid a hefty sum. Everybody else going through their downs and you barely getting by. Like, is inflation going on right now? Do you see any politician sweating? No, because they making sure they get paid. They make sure that they get a ample amount of finances pressed for them. All right. It says that's why it's up to rebel capitalists to help expose these wealth destroying schemes and demonstrate why sound money is key for any society that's serious about building wealth. Right? Has to be based off of something. It can't be just a overtly amount of funds just released everywhere. Right? It says most people are acquainted with the inflationary disasters that have occurred in Venezuela and Zimbabwe. I know in Venezuela, their money is worthless, and it's been worthless for a long time. When I tell you they just throwing money in the streets and don't nobody give a damn, they have trash bins, not cans, bins full of money because it's worthless. Right? It says, however, new cases such as Turkey have emerged and are providing economic observers another first-hand look at what inflation is capable of doing to societies. Right? What inflation is capable of doing to societies, it can break a society down. Because what also came, speaking about Venezuela, what also came with the crash of that dollar was uprising and chaos, riots in the streets. Right? There was no police. There was no policing. Right? It was just utter chaos. Like, basically everything you read about in Second Ezra 15, it was going down in Venezuela, like for a long time. Right? And they doing this to the world now. This ain't just centered in Venezuela or Zimbabwe. This is going on around the world. And all of this is because of policies that are written by higher ups. Right? It says, our very own George Gammon recently went to Turkey and got to experience what it's like living in a country with borderline hyperinflationary levels of inflation. It says, believe us, it ain't pretty. So please make sure to check out George Gammon's video on the current inflation crisis in Turkey. Learn if blah, blah, blah. Right? So that's it. So basically, the devil doing this on purpose, man. Order, chaos. So if they crash the dollar, if they crash the global economy, then they can introduce something else And the people won't buck up against it because the economy is crashed and everybody want to eat, right? You want to drive your cars or whatever it is you want to do. And if they crash this economy to the point to where it's chaos in the streets and then they turn around and say, well, we have a solution, there will be no one to buck up against that solution except for the individuals who know better. And those individuals who know better, right, are the elect of the Most High. Right? And, it may be some quote unquote preppers out there that may not fall for it, or they may, who knows. Right? But at the end of the day, this is all for the elect's sake, man. Let me go to the book of Psalms. Psalms 82 and verse 4 says, deliver the poor and needy, rid them out of the hand of the wicked. Right? We're speaking about the poor and the needy. That's Yasharallah. The wicked, they run the earth right now. Right? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. Right? Esau, Edom. And the Most High, spoke through, Yahweh Shema Shah spoke through King David, this request: deliver the poor and needy, rid them out of the hand of the wicked, right? Because he already knew what we were going to be going through, man. All right. Let me go to the book of Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 7. It says, the instruments also of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. All right? This devil did this on purpose, man. All right? Like I say, inflation came through policies. It didn't come from, regular citizens spending too much or regular citizens saving too much money. That ain't the cause of it. That came through them individuals signing them pieces of paper, right? And saying that they're going to do this and they're going to do that with the funds. Like I said, it's all on purpose. Order of chaos, man. Order out of chaos. Right? Go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 13 and verse 7. It says, there is that maketh himself rich, yet he hath nothing. There is that maketh himself poor, yet hath great riches. Right? So this devil really makes himself rich by, pushing the inflation. It's inflation on everybody else, but check this out. Check the logic, right? What's inflation to a person that got all the money in the world? What that person care about inflation? Inflation affects the poor because we don't have the funds like that. They can raise something up $100. If $100 to them is like $1, it's nothing to them, but to us, it hurts. All right? But the Most High just said, man, there is that maketh himself rich, yet hath nothing. You can have all the funds in this world. It's all good because this world finna be destroyed anyway. So ultimately, everything you're doing is in vain. Right? You will, at the end of the day, have not a damn thing, right, but a righteous boot in your ass while you serve hard bondage. Because he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. All right? Revelation 13:10, I believe. All right? But it says, there is that maketh himself poor, yet hath great riches. Yeah, we are the poor. All right? And we put ourselves in this situation by not following thus said Yahweh. Right? But at the end of the day, the Most High got to elect, and his elect, man, gonna make it through. And even the 2/3 at the end of the day, once you learn the Most High after death by pain, and you get birthed back into the kingdom through the elect, guess what? You got great riches too, because the kingdom is for you too. You just gonna have to get it the hard way. I'm talking about the hardest way. Right? And go to the book of James. James chapter 2 and verse 5. It says, "Hearken, my beloved brethren, hath not power chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom, which he hath promised to them that love him." Right? "But ye have despised the poor. Do not rich men oppress you and draw you before the judgment seats?" Right? So at the end of the day, man, the Most High promised us a kingdom. And we trying to be the first ones we want to bring in the 2/3 through our loins. Right? We don't want to be brought through. Right? Because that means that you didn't have faith. That means you didn't believe in the word of the Most High, creator of all things. When he opened up his spirit to us, right, in a time of darkness, he gave us light. You ain't believe that. And when the Most High, like, physically show you it, you're going to feel so ashamed about that thing, man. Because it's going to be like, why in the hell was I holding on to that wicked ass world that steadily oppressed me, right? Steadily tried to kill me, steadily tried to keep us from being a nation. Why did I cling on to this world and this made up mentality so hard when I could have been mentally in the kingdom this whole time? Right? But at the end of the day, man, hey, Abba, meaning destruction to Babylon, and call Holoyim La Yahweh Ba Hashem Yahweh Shai Ba Hashem Harachakodash. All praises to Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai, in the name of the Holy Spirit, or the Spirit of Holiness. Right? So, hey, with that, I'm going to end it there. With that, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Ratazah, these precepts in this video were edifying. Call Holoyim La Yahweh Ba Hashem Yahweh Shai Ba Hashem Harachakodash. Shalom, Yashalom.